sun is shining, not a cloud in the sky. What a beautiful day. The birds are singing and so am I. What a beautiful day. I'd like to keep this moment for the rest of my life, but I know there'll always be a little toil and strife. What a beautiful day, such a beautiful day.
Hi everyone, welcome to The Guilty Knitter. I'm Vivian from Montreal, Canada, and I'm ready to give you episode 22 of The Guilty Knitter podcast. And I'm looking at a beautiful day out there. I mean, Montreal does have its share of beautiful days. It's quite hot, but it's not super humid, so that's the key. Here, I'll show you these lovely pansies that are sitting here as decoration on my table. Brought them in from outside. I never thought about cutting little bits off of the planters, you know, the ones that are sitting on my deck, and using them as cut flowers. And they work really well because these pansies have been here for a couple of days and they're no sign of fading. Anyway, I'm happy to see you all back. I'm very excited to share the news that I am over 100 subscribers. Last two weeks ago when I posted last time, I was saying that I'd like to do a giveaway when I get to 100 subscribers, and all of a sudden I'm up to 112 subscribers. So I'm super happy, and I am going to do a giveaway. And it's going to be, for sure, a mug with my little logo on it, Guilty Knitter, it's a lovely mug designed by my niece, Jessica Martin, and she lives out in Edmonton, but she did this when I first started the podcast, and I just love it. It's got all the elements of my life. It's got my hair, flowers, my little dog Monty, my knitting, of course, and my trombone somewhere. Where's the trombone? Yeah, it's very small. It's on the label of the skein of yarn. Isn't that lovely? And I think there are even some notes on my earring. So it's kind of fun. It shows all the things that I'm into. So that'll be one thing. Plus, I believe I'm going to send this skein of yarn, which is a it's a beautiful yarn by Zen Yarn Garden. It's 100 grams of sock yarn, superwash merino, 20%, 70 merino, 20 cashmere, 10 nylon. So actually, I almost would not recommend it for socks, but it's a beautiful yarn to use for something else. I just had experience with this blend, and it didn't really endure very well as a pair of socks. But it is a gorgeous yarn, so you can certainly find something to do with it, like a shawl or something like that. I just got a text here. Let me turn off my phone. So anyway, so that's it. I'm gonna send that off to the lucky winner, and I will choose the winner it'll be here on YouTube. So just put a comment down below. You know, just any comment about whether it's about the podcast or about what you'd like to do with the yarn or what you're knitting right now. Anything, just communicate something, and you'll be entered to win. And do mention the giveaway, I guess, but you know, not absolutely necessary. Whoever comments below will be entered for the giveaway, because I'll know that you'll have watched this podcast, and that's the main thing. It's possible that I might add another something or other to the giveaway box, but those two things will be in for sure. So, and please, only the US and Canada, because I can't afford such huge shipping costs. I'm sorry to say. Yeah. So, and when I choose a person, let's see, I have to make a deadline, don't I? Let's say a week from today, which will make it the, what day is it today? It's the 8th. So the 15th at midnight, let's say. It gives you a week, okay? Please subscribe if you haven't already in order to be considered for the giveaway. Thank you. So what else is new? Oh, if you want to find me on Instagram, I am at Guilty Knitter, and on Ravelry, I'm The Guilty Knitter. And over there on Ravelry, I do have a page that I put a little note up every time I do a new podcast. Nothing goes on there really much, but I'm hoping that that will change at some point. I've been talking about doing another knit along, which I guess I could start, but I might save that for the fall. I don't really have any brilliant ideas right now, so we'll do that in the fall. So yeah, Ravelry, talking about Ravelry, it is quite the hotbed of activity over there now, of course, because everybody knows about their new policy. And I think, I mean, there are people who have just decided to leave Ravelry because of it. Personally, I think it's good. I think they did the right thing. I don't think there should be tolerance for intolerance. And yeah, I mean, I can see people worrying about free speech, etc. But I think in this case, we're not talking about any kind of political rally. We're not a political party or I don't know, some big business. This is somebody's basically small business. Well, I don't know how small it is, but I don't think there's that many people working there. But they have the right to decide what goes on their site, and if they believe that support for President Trump is support for white supremacy, and I think they have a good case for that, then they did the right thing. That's my opinion. And yeah, I think at times like this, you know, when things are really pretty bad, in terms of it seems to me there's a downturn in tolerance lately in the last few years. You know, maybe because of there being so much movement in the world, so many refugees, so many wars, and such an imbalance between the rich and the poor. You know, people get afraid of the influx of people that they don't understand, people that are different from them, and I think that it's really sad. But I think that we all have to, those of us who believe in that we're all basically created equal, and that we should be treated as such with kindness and with tolerance, then we have to make a stand, and they are making a stand. I think it was pretty courageous of them because they knew they would lose quite a few people. Yeah, so it can hit their bottom line a little bit, but I really think it's important. So good for them. Anyway, so I will move on from there. That's my political statement for today. I did a little post on it if you want to check my my blog, which is called Vivian's Tranquil Garden. You can also find it as vivtranquilgarden.com. So VIV tranquilgarden.com. And I will put a link to that in the description below. And for the rest of this podcast, I have quite a few things, mostly whips, to show you, because I have one finished object, and that is a hat that I already sent to its recipient, my great niece Cameron. Well, it could be for her or for her brother Ben, because they were born 6 months apart or something like that. Anyway, it's a long story. It's a complicated story, which I have told in another episode. Anyway, the two of them, I sent them an Aviatrix hat, and I'll show you the picture of the one that I finished since the last podcast. I'll insert a picture, so be sure to look up from your knitting right now. Yes, I hope you have your knitting with you, and I wonder what you're all working on right now. It's a lot of fun to. I have so many things on my needles. It's a real problem in one way because I can't finish anything because I just have too many things going on. Okay, go say goodbye to the what are these called? Petunias. I'm gonna put them over here. And anyway, so I have like, I don't know, at least 3 major projects going on. 3 major projects, meaning 3 garments. And I won't show you the Zweig. I talked about it a lot last week. But I will talk to you about my Lizzie and about this new one I've got. I've got a Sanctuary Tee on my needles. But before I go on, I'll show you the yarn I used for that Aviatrix hat. This is, I believe this is Americana DK by Artfill in their confetti colorway. If I'm not, I could be completely wrong. I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants here. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? It's great. So I striped it with this DK here, which I think might be a Sweet Georgia, but I can't 100% promise you that that's what that is because it doesn't have a label on it. And so that's what I did use for the Aviatrix hat. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around here. You know what I like in the winter or in the summer is drinking iced coffee. Delish. Okay, so moving on to works in progress. I have my Lizzie, which is finally making some progress. All right, making it in Espace Tricot's linen, what's it called? Petit Lin Plus. And look, see? It's almost starting to look like something. Oh, I'm in the middle. No, I'm not in the middle. Yes, I am. I'm in the middle of a row, so it's a bit hard to see. But what you're adding stitches here at the front. This little cardigan, right? So so it's going to make these little points that kind of fall down in front. So that's going to be kind of nice. So I only have about I don't know 4 more inches to do before I can bind off. Oh boy, it just feels like it's endless. But anyway, I have come to grips with the fact that when you knit with linen, it's just usually a disaster. It looks awful, and then it's hopefully all gonna block out. I don't know, we'll see. I was having a lot of trouble with the yarn twisting as I knitted. You know what I mean? So between the project and the yarn, it would just get all twisted around. So that was a bit irritating. I don't think I've ever had it do that quite so much. But I'm about to roll a new ball of yarn, and I'm going to do it on my machine rather than by hand. So I'm hoping that might help. I don't know. I hope so. But I'm getting a little excited about that I might actually use it before the end of the summer, which would be so fun. That would be great. This is the Marguerite Bourgeois colorway. Isn't that a great name for a color? I think Marguerite Bourgeois was one of the nuns that came over. I'm not 100% sure that I should check but she was a famous person in old Quebec in the pioneer times. So, okay, that's that. And I have a new little project on my needles called the Sanctuary Tee. And this is so beautiful. Check it out. That is the right side. It's kind of neat because it's actually, I mean, it is kind of like what would normally be the wrong side of the work because it's reverse stockinette in those inside of those round things. And also you knit on the right side, so you're not purling all that. You're just purling in between a bit here and there. so it makes it much easier. And you're knitting in the round, so it's pretty good, but it will take me a while. Yeah, I know. Alert the press. Because look, I mean, I worked on this really hard for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and this is what I got. And that's fun because, I mean, I've always find the beginning is like exciting, and then after a while I'm like, okay, these are getting way long. These are getting really long, these rows. So, and it will get even longer. I think there's 455 stitches on the needles by the time, just before I split for the sleeves. So those rows are gonna be long. But I'm gonna persevere. I like it. I really like it, actually. My only concern is that it looks way more lacy and holey than it does on the picture. The picture of the pattern, which do I have here? Oh yeah, I have it in my in the book. It's gorgeous, but it doesn't look nearly as holy, does it? I don't know. Maybe it's just hard to see in these pictures, but it seems to me it's a little more dense fabric. So, but I mean, it looks to me as though I'm kind of getting close to gauge. It's a little bit, wait, hold on. There we are. It's a little bit hard to tell because of the, because of the pattern. It's a bit hard to really check gauge, but I'm going to carry on and keep trying it on. So far the neck seems to be good. It's definitely like a boat neck. It's definitely a wider neck, which is what I like. I just don't want it to be like falling off my shoulders, right? But I don't think it will happen. When I blocked it, it didn't seem to change the gauge much. I don't have the same row gauge that it requires, mind you. At least, I don't know, I'll have to check that again. But anyway, it's really fun. It's a really fun little knit so far, and it's not hard. Like, once you get into the swing of it, I'm not quite at the point where I'm just going to be knitting down straight, which I think is most of the body is just straight. I don't think there's any shaping really once you split for the sleeves. Yeah, it's going to be good. So there's those two, and I did do a little swatch for my daughter's sweater. I kind of screwed this up here. Jeez Louise. I'm making her a version of the Optica by Isabel Kramer, and you can see what a nice little pattern that is. So this is I'm planning on steeking it, so I made a little steek panel here. I forgot to do that at the bottom. I just did ribbing, so that was a mistake. But I might even practice the steek on this. This is not the exact yarn. It's the exact yarn, but not the same color, because I happen to have some extra Scout in a gray. Hers is going to be dark blue. But this gives me a good idea, and I can just kind of steek it and practice my steeking, which I haven't done yet. But at least I made the swatch, and I'm getting gauge. I think so. I like that. So this is going to run along the bottom of the sweater, and also I thought I might continue this all the way up beside the front. So that'll be a bit of a modification to the pattern. So yeah, that'll be fun. That's more of a fall project. I don't think I'm going to start it right away, although I did write a project page for it already, because I figured, well, I made a swatch, so I have a picture to put up. Alrighty then. Gosh, I don't know what else I have to tell you. Let's see, I've only got 20 minutes. There must be more stuff. Oh, I remember one more thing, but I'll have to pause this. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I wanted to show you that this is not really a big deal, but this is a sweater I made for my husband last year. I finished it in the fall, I think. This is the, gosh, it's by, oh my God, I'll have to write it down underneath here. I don't remember the name of it. Isn't that terrible? But anyway, it's a gorgeous cabled sweater, which, yeah, I really enjoyed making. But I made the sleeves too long. So I shortened one of them. And, let's see. You know, I am feeling that I didn't shorten it very much in the end. How the heck could that be? That's weird. Anyway, I did shorten this one. Really strange. Doesn't seem like I took very much out. Anyway, but it does look better on him. He had them both like turned up, you know. And I thought, it just looks silly on a grown man to have his sleeves rolled up. That's what I thought. But then when I got him to try it on and to see how it looked, he was like, well, I liked it long. I think he was just being nice. Why would he like it like that? Anyway, so I am going to fix the other one, pull it out and redo it. It's not a big deal. All right, so what I was going to talk to you on, one thing, I got a renewal notification from my Knit Companion app. I don't know how many of you use Knit Companion. It's a knitting app that you can use on iPad, on iPhone, I think even on, I think Android. Well, I have it on my phone and I have an Android phone. It's a little different on the phone. Yeah, I was just wanted to talk to you about the pros and cons of using Knit Companion. I really have liked it on the whole. I think I bought the app very soon after getting back into knitting, about 5 years ago-ish. And it's just really, I find it very useful. You can import PDFs and create charts with the, if you need to get the paid version to use all the possible different tools, but you can, if you do pay for it, which I did, I'm paying $20 a year, so I just find that not that bad. It's very helpful to me to keep everything that I need in my iPad. Like all my patterns are there, and the charts are there, and it has chart counters, like row counters and everything. And I feel like there's a lot more to it that I'm not using, maybe. And now, like, I got used to using the old Knit Companion, and then they revamped it, and it's called, what's it called now? Old Knit Companion, the same as before, but yeah, that's it. This one is called Knit Companion, but the other one is called, the old one is called Legacy. I think that implies that it doesn't really, it's not being upgraded, upgraded or monitored. You don't have the same support, is what I'm trying to say. I'm really having a hard time expressing this. But anyway, in the new version of it, I find it very different than the old one, and there was already quite a learning curve to learn Knit Companion. It's not super easy. So I went through all the business of learning how to use it on the old version, and now they've got this whole new version, and it's quite different. So I avoided trying to learn it. I've been kind of just not doing it, and I'm realizing that I'm going to have to, in order to keep up with, because I feel like I'm paying for this version and not the other version, so I should learn this one, but it's a pain in the butt, to be frank with you. So anyway, I'm going to try in the next few projects to use it, but I guess what bothers me is that there's no interplay between the two, the old version and the new version. There's no crossover. You have to just start a project in the new version, and you won't find it in the old version or whatever. So anyway, it's a little bit annoying. So yeah, but anyway, I will figure it out. And I wonder whether you guys have any issues with it, or if you really like it, or if you don't use it. I know that most of my friends just do it the old-fashioned way. They just print out the pattern and you know, yeah, I guess they follow, I don't know how they keep track of their rows and stuff, but I guess they do it somehow or other, you know. They have these different gizmos for that. Anyway, I'm not making much sense. I'm not very good at keeping track of things like that. That's why I like having everything on this in this virtual platform, because I don't have to carry around anything extra. But the issue for me is that when I have a pattern that is in a book, like I do right now, I have 2 patterns that I'm working with that are in books. It's not so easy to transfer the, let's say, a chart out of this book, which I'm doing. I did that. I mean, I put it into my Knit Companion, but it doesn't line up very well. Like, I took a picture of it and it doesn't, anyway, it doesn't work all that well. So that's my major problem with it. But I still really prefer to use the Knit Companion versus using paper patterns. But maybe you have other ideas. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So that's it. I don't think I have much else to say, actually. Do I have any future projects to tell you about? Yeah, I'm just going to be working on the Optica later on, and I'll get back to my Zweig later on in the summer. I was thinking of making a bag because I have some linen I could do with a bag, but I just have to keep it. I have to keep it to what I'm working on right now, which is already enough, I think. All right. Well, I'll keep it short this time, and I will see you the next time, and I'll try to make it 2 weeks from now. I'm really trying to keep to that schedule. That's why I did this, because I really didn't have a heck of a lot to say, but I really want to keep up a schedule so you guys can depend on me. And that's it. So I'll let you go. Happy knitting. Please come back. Please press like. Please press subscribe if you enjoyed this podcast. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.